Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 2 versus 2 on Tyrador Keep. And it'll be between TQ or Get Slammed. He is the yellow Terran player. His teammate will be none other than the red bandit. He is the blue Zerg. Their opponents will be cLSAdj. ADJ. He is the teal Terran. And cLSAsgard, Asgard or Asgard. He is the Zerg, pink Zerg. And so we do have some funky colors in this game. That is because this game is actually from a couple weeks ago in the Zeek.com 2v2 Masters Weekly Tournament. And I heard this was a super good game, and this was a first round game. So, so it never got cast. It never got casted on the stream, the Zeek.com stream, or anything like that. So, I'm looking forward to this game. It should be quite exciting. A mirror matchup, TZ versus TZ, and we have a very early refinery here from GETSLAMT, and so it looks like he is going to be going for some fast Hellions. That is a standard opener for some fast Hellions, is to get that refinery all the way completed before even throwing down your barracks. Red Bandit will be taking a fast hatchery as well. Same goes for Asgard up here, the pink Zerg. And now ADJ, a more standard opener here at barracks before refinery. We'll see what he opts to go. Could possibly, we could see some Reapers maybe? Maybe Reapers? I'm not so sure. But this refinery timing is interesting, as we will see there. We'll have to see what he goes for. I'm not real sure where he's going to go with that. And so yeah, nothing special right now except this spawning pool location is very unusual. You can see that this is actually going to slow down his gas farming, or his gas mining time a little bit. You might even need 4 drones to get this gas fully going when he does eventually get that from this spawning pool. So, unusual placement there. Okay, and now the factory and reactor on the way for GETSLAMT. And there is a factory, a bunker going down for ADJ up front. So going to play defensive opener here and just saving up a lot of gas. So I expect to see him, yeah, here goes the factory now. Probably going to be going for siege tanks. That is ADJ. That is my guess now. Going to be going for some quick siege tanks. And now the swap is underway for GETSLAMT as well as the starport. And so Hellions will be pumped out here, and next up on the list is Banshees. As soon as this tech lab gets going on the barracks, he will set that up to switch this starport. And the Red Bandit, meanwhile, just droning. Exactly what you want to do on this map. Expanding early, always a good idea. Very fast layer tech from Asgard. Wow, what is he going to be doing? And he actually has started mining this gas, and he has 4 drones on it. So, I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. You're crazy. This guy's crazy. He put a spawning pool there, and he's like, oh, I'll just put 4 drones on it. No big deal. So maybe he has some plan, evil plan about his building placement. Maybe this is going to help prevent Hellion run-bys, but they can still get around the back here. I'm not so sure. They can still get through this way, I think. So here comes the Hellions for GETSLAMT. Unfortunately for him, there is a fully loaded bunker sitting here at the front, so those Hellions will not be able to do basically anything. And the Red Bandit Zerglings trying to start picking away at the rocks, but that is not going to work because there is a Marine there. And we'll see if Red Bandit does some little Zergling micro here. As you can see him running away, the low health Zergling, but more Marines are on the way. And so that will be futile here. But this Hellion is going to continue shooting at these rocks, and I hate to break it to this Hellion, but that is going to take a very long time. But guess what? Doesn't need to worry about wall-offs and rocks. That is a Banshee. And he is researching cloaking field. 20 seconds on the cloak. for the Banshee. So when this comes in, by the time that the Marines run down to try and take him out, the cloaking will be finished, as the Banshee harass is underway now. And we will just count up the kills before ADJ opts to move his units out, and he did get 4 SCV kills, and now the SCV is actually only running over to this location here. Asgard quickly morphing in an Overseer Cocoon, so good thing he did have that lair in his back pocket. Well prepared for this Banshee harass. And this Banshee's still just kicking some ass. But now the mutas are out. As you saw the Spire going down earlier. And those will be able to quickly take out the Banshee. And now the Red Bandit and GETSLAMT are going to be the ones that have to play defensive, because the Banshees are on the way. There's no anti-air except for a Queen here for the Red Bandit. And where is the Evo Chamber going down? Right here. And Retro, the Red Bandit, is going to be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Mutas, going to go straight after the Queen. And there goes the Queen. Infestation Pit on the way as well. And the drone starting to get picked off very quickly here. But GETSLAMT does have a few Marines. Looks like enough to at least award these Mutas back. Mutas could even get some free kills on the Roaches there. But instead, just going to keep harassing the mineral lines. The Red Bandit does have his Evo Chamber finished. So the Spore Crawlers will begin to be built. And GETSLAMT does have an engineering grade back here, but he has no missile turrets in his mineral line. These mutas continuing to rack up the SCV kills. A nice harass right now from Asgard. But the Spore Crawler has finished there, and that should keep the mutas out for a while. We're going to get a couple extra kills. Just continue that harassment, keep them in their base, keep the map control. And now ADJ does have his siege tanks on the field, and he could move one over here to take out this Hellion, but there is a cloaked Banshee, and oh, this cloaked Banshee could get some free tank kills. And here comes some Mutalisk, but there is no detection here, and GETSLAMT is running away anyway. Oh no! He could have probably gotten some free tank kills there, but here comes the Overseer now. So it was not meant to be. And oh, Red Bandit. Some bad rally points on the Overlords. When there's mutas all over the map, you don't want to have your Overlords sitting in the middle, that's for sure. And oh no, Zergling's running under the mutas. More of them are going to die, but look at this. GETSLAMT is pushing out now with a Thor, a couple of siege tanks, and a bunch of Marines. Looks like he wants to get rid of these rocks and come up the backside. Meanwhile, is still harassing with this Banshee, trying to pick off some of the siege tanks. The scan, it goes off, but then the Banshee is not going to get out in time, or is it? The siege tanks are up now, and now the Banshee is picking off the siege tanks. They're going to need another scan. Where is the Overseer? There it is, and the Queen will be able to finish off this Banshee, but not before it kills a couple of more tanks. And it looks like GETSLAMT is thinking about falling back here. The rocks have been taken out, but the Red Bandit doesn't have much up there at this point. He does have a couple, make it 3 Infestors. And those Infestors are such a strong counter to this massive Mutalisk. I can't wait to see, oh, when they get grouped up like that, fungal growth is just the juiciest thing that's ever happened. As I think the Red Bandit, maybe he was just scouting with these Zerglings, or did he want to take out these rocks and build a sneak gold expansion up there? I don't know, man. But GETSLAMT finally going to be taking his expansion. Same goes for ADJ, has already finished this base. And probably, yeah, he is going to be transferring up some SCVs, not very many. He did lose a bunch to the Banshee harass there. As, uh-oh, Muta's trying to come around the back, getting shot at by the Thor. And, oh no, did Asgard lose a... Okay, did he lose a huge wall of Mutas there? That I missed? Oh man, dude, I think I missed. Oh, I think I did miss it. I missed a fungal growth on the Mutas already, after I was talking about it. Sorry you guys, there was a fungal growth on the Mutas here, and a bunch of them did die. And I missed it. So, sorry about that. Anyway, we will just pretend that didn't happen, and I will pay more attention to the minimap. And less rambling. As GETSLAMT coming around the top side Going to be picking off a couple units here, but the siege tanks on the high ground are going to keep him at bay for the time being. This one Marine is just straight balling, man. Thought he could take out some SCVs himself, but no. And gets slammed. It looks like he's going to go all in here with this army and try and take out as much economy as he possibly can. He is going to be able to kill all of these mules and SCVs, it looks like, but will he be able to get the command center? No, it does not look like it, because Asgard is coming in with the Zerglings, getting the surround on the Thors and siege tanks in the back, but all the Zerglings are going to die. The Marines doing too much damage. Will they be able to get this command center? It does not look like it. It is floating away, and the siege tanks have moved over to help defend. At the same time, the Red Bandit not opting to attack up the gut. And getslampt lost his whole army there. The scan going off will allow these roaches to pick off these siege tanks on the high ground, but I don't know. Some fungal growth going down on all of these roaches, going to be softening them up quite a bit, but the siege tanks may prove to be too much for the Red Bandit here. More fungal growth going off. So much damage being dealt to these roaches with that AoE fungal growth. But it looks like he's going to have to fall back. Just not enough army here. As getslampt really just lost his whole army trying to take out this economy, and he didn't end up doing much damage at all. So he did kill a whole bunch of Zerglings, but I mean, those are pretty quickly remade here. As you see, Asgard with a macro hatchery. Still, we have Zerglings from the Red Bandit sitting up in this corner. And they may get spotted now by the Mutalisk.
Our forces.
And whoa, our forces are under attack because of the Overlord at the bottom getting sniped out. And getslampt going to be trying to take another base here. Unfortunately for him, that is not going to happen because these mutas will force the cancel. And now these Zerglings are in motion for Red Bandit. Where are they going though? They're going to pick off this drone that wanted to take that base, so nice job there from the Red Bandit. And now where is getslampt going to be going? Where is he going? You don't want to be chasing these mutas around with that army. That is not going to work. As the Bright team is really just turtling here, and nice regeneration from Asgard. Those roaches were all so low from the fungal growth, and he burrowed them all back to health. So that is definitely a plus. As the Red Bandit does have burrow himself. Always a good idea to get burrow when you have infestors. And helps for roaches too, obviously. So a slow crawl looks like it will be coming from the top team. Hellions, tanks, and roaches. Bottom team, meanwhile, with Marines, a couple of tanks, and the Red Bandit with a big army of roaches and infestors. Fungal growths are going down all over the roaches for the top team. These siege tanks for ADJ doing so much damage. This is going to be a very, very close fight. getslampt, he has 3 tanks of his own in the back. And the Red Bandit is going to be forced to fall back with his infestors. This army is going to get overwhelmed, and oh no, the bottom team is in so much trouble now. So many siege tanks back here, even a couple of Mutalisks in the air as well. And it's going to be up to these infestors to slow this push down as much as they possibly can using those fungal growths. And the Red Bandit desperately trying to get some units out. He is pumping roaches out as fast as he possibly can to try and hold this. And there is not enough energy. One of these infestors, oh, the infestor that had enough for fungal growth did just get picked off. And now the bottom team is up against it. The siege tanks are in position down here. getslampt is going to be forced to float his command center away and hide his SCVs in the corner, but the top team letting those stay down there. They're going to be pressing and trying to break their main. And oh, the Red Bandit may lose his main lair here. I'm not so sure. He is still desperately trying to pump out some roaches. And getslampt, what does he have? He has a ball of Marines trying to pick off reinforcements in the back. And he is forcing all of these units to retreat back here. Very interesting. I think that Asgard and ADJ may have been able to turn and fight right there. But the reinforcements are going to fall back, and then these siege tanks are pretty unprotected down here, but the lair has fallen for the Red Bandit, and now the roaches are going to be desperately trying to pick off these siege tanks. More roaches coming in to support the siege tanks for ADJ. And oh man, this is seriously dire straits for the bottom team. I'm not sure what they can do at this point. The Red Bandit is not making anything. And GETSLAMT is making a planetary fortress over at this location, and could that get sniped out? He has all of his Marines out here to try and save this planetary fortress, and it is going to go down. Oh no, GETSLAMT losing that base. That is big trouble. And he is definitely going to need to bring this army of Marines to help out the main. This army is not that big right here. I feel like if the right team decided to press everything they have down here, they might be able to make something happen with it. What happened to all the rest of those reinforcements? I feel like I may have missed another counterattack. And if I did, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I may have missed a counterattack during this, though I'm not 100% sure on that. Because I know these Marines from GETSLAMT are out here and forcing back those units. But maybe not. As they are starting to push out again, grabbing that watchtower with the Hellions. And now Blue Flame is also on the way for ADJ. A good choice against all these Marines from GETSLAMT. And building a command center over in an interesting location here. I wonder if he plans on lifting that off and landing it over here, or if he plans on making this a planetary fortress. I'm not real sure, but he is lifting one off and sending it way over to this side, where Asgard has a couple of roaches stationed here to deny all of these bases. Now GETSLAMT has landed his main command center over here, and is calling down mules. Asgard, as soon as the mules come down, he is going to unburrow and start picking them off. A nice job there, and even sending a second roach down to start picking that stuff off. So GETSLAMT and the Red Bandit going to move their whole army over here to deal with it. Now would be an ideal time for the right team to try and make a push. But everybody seems to be pretty hurting right now in the economy. All these SCVs doing absolutely nothing for ADJ. And Red Bandit still has 8 mineral patches going here. And he does have this gold base established now, and that is going to be huge. That is going to be huge. And now Asgard is sending out some more roaches here. It looks like the Red Bandit, lucky to save these roaches, a little okey doke up there to save these roaches. And now going to be reinforcing it and trying to engage it head on, and it gets slammed. Not lifting off his command center there, and oh, huge blunder. But the Red Bandit now with enough roaches to take out this army. It looks like it will be close. As you guys know, the APM is going to be off the chart when it's roaches on roaches. No, a little bit of sarcasm in that one. But the Red Bandit will steamroll that army of roaches. But that is not the most of their worries right now. And so the Red Bandit, he lost his main base, but he basically had it mined out. So it wasn't a huge loss, so to speak. And for Zerg, it's a lot easier to get those tech structures up and running again. As I think I missed another attack over here because this command center lifted off. What did I miss here, man? I am just terrible right now. Sorry about that, you guys. I keep missing some harassment. I don't think it did a whole lot there, though, but looks like we are going to have an engagement, and these roaches for Asgard are way too far in front of the siege tanks, but the siege tanks are up in time. But this is a lot of roaches to contend with, and the Red Bandit going to just shoot and scoot his way over those siege tanks with the superior concave. And now plucking off that command center in 2 shots. And now it is the right team that seems to be in trouble, as this base has nothing going for it. A whole bunch of mules getting called down now for ADJ. And he is sitting on so much gas. And oh man, look at all the gas that the top team is sitting on, man. That is trouble. As the tides have turned. And now GETSLAMT. Reestablish this base over here. Some Hellions picking off these Marines that were scattered all over the place. GETSLAMT gonna be, looks like he will be able to deny this base here, as there's only 2 roaches up here to defend. At the same time, it gets the Red Bandit starting to secure these watchtowers, and now the right team, it may be desperation time. I can't believe I'm saying that after they were steamrolling this base. I think the right team had Get Slammed and the Red Bandit on the ropes, and they may have thrown it away. And oh no, the roaches from Asgard are way too far out in front again. And this is a much more scary looking army. There are a couple of siege tanks back here for ADJ, and here comes the major engagement, and the Hellions, unfortunately for ADJ, are mostly hitting the roaches in the front. Some nice unit placement here by the Marines in the back behind the roaches, and they are going to steamroll this army. That is Get Slammed and the Red Bandit. A couple of Mutalisks out here will not be able to do much at all. And some great unit placement in that engagement. You notice, put the roaches in the front, Marines in the back, keep them away from the Hellions. That did make a big difference. Doesn't hurt that he has all these medevacs floating over, healing everything. So medevacs, man. Maybe if ADJ had some medevacs, but he is going straight mech, so why would he get medevacs, right? Why? Well, he could have been healing his teammates' roaches with those medevacs. Not that that is worth going for, but I'm just saying that is an added benefit of going bio. Is healing your teammates' units, and so Muta's trying to harass back here, but there's a missile turret, and there's only 3 Mutas. So now the top team, if we check the income tab, the pink Zerg player, Asgard, he has 0 income. Though Get Slammed pretty much has 0 income too. But that is only because he had to pull his SCVs off for harassment that I just did not see. So sorry about that, you guys. That could have been some Hellions running down there. Probably was. I'm not real sure. But somehow, someway, this game is still going, and nobody has really expanded or secured an expansion beyond their second one. As now ADJ is calling down mules at the gold here. And that cannot be allowed to stay up if you are the bottom team. And now Asgard, is he going to be long distance mining from this gold location all the way back? I think he is. And you know, okay, he's going to be using his drones to kill the rocks here at the gold. That's not something you see very often. But sometimes I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, man. As the rocks are going down surprisingly quickly to all of these drones. And so ADJ being allowed to have this base, and now the Red Bandit has gotten some more infestors. He's got them split apart nicely here. Not that the top team has any ghosts, but now researching Cloaking Field and Banshees at the 32-minute mark is ADJ. And now a couple of these infestors are going to get burrowed. And where are they going? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. These SCVs are so juicy. Look how many SCVs and mules are in here. The Red Bandit could get a couple of fungal growths down on these units, and oh my god, right now the kill count for these infestors. Oh my god, so many SCVs just died. That was huge. That was huge. Nice play there from the Red Bandit. And now that ADJ has lost all his SCVs, he will scan to reveal the infestors, and they will get picked off by the Hellions. Very, very worth it. And now it looks like Asgard is getting denied this base up here. He did kill the rebel, but then he ran his drones away. And now it looks like the drones are going to be joining the front lines, ready to fight, as they are surrounding these tanks here. And so when are we going to see a push from the bottom team? I think they have this one in the bag now. Hellions trying to do a run by over here. Fungal growth catching a couple of them there. Get Slammed will be chasing the Hellions with these Marines. And he has enough of them to make it work. Hopefully he doesn't run right into all of these siege tanks though. They're still sitting at a bit of a stalemate. I think though that the Red Bandit is in pretty good shape here. He's basically got enough roaches now with 3 tabs of roaches, 2.5 tabs. that he should be able to soak up enough damage to get the heavy hitters into this army. A couple more burrowed infestors going to be throwing down infested Terrans on top of the siege tanks at the same time as the roaches come in for the attack. And it looks like that is going to be all she wrote for the top team. It was a valiant effort, but I think they really screwed up in this game, man. I think the top team, Team CLS, they had this game, man. They had this game. They had siege tanks and roaches inside the main down here, and somehow they let this game get away. I think GETSLAMT had a small ball of Marines, and he was trying to pick off some reinforcements, but I think if they had just turned and straight up engaged that ball of Marines, they may have been able to take it out and continue streaming reinforcements, and this game could have been theirs. Nonetheless, a pretty exciting game there. Thank you, the Red Bandit, for finally sending me a game. It was a pleasure to cast, and a very nice comeback indeed. And so that is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.